Welcome to another segment of LeaderLINK, linking members with mentors to learn, achieve, and succeed. I'm Hunter Sparrow, and I have the pleasure of serving as your Northwest Region Vice President this year. And joining me today is your State President, Joanne Lynn.
Thank you so much, Hunter. We're excited to announce today we have a super special guest joining us from not only the National Officer team, but the great state of Georgia is your National President, Deborah Jacklin, to discuss some of the amazing opportunities the National Center has available to you this membership year.
Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for having me.
But before we start diving deep in that topic, Deborah, please tell us a little about yourself and why you joined FBLA and why you decided to become our national president.
Yeah, of course. So we had a middle school chapter for FBLA around my area, and all of my friends were joining clubs and they joined FBLA. And quite honestly, I had no idea what FBLA was. I was like, okay, I'll just join because all of you guys are. And once I got into FBLA, all of my friends were there. I had so much fun at all of the chapter meetings. And then we had the opportunity to compete in like our first, I guess, public speaking type of event. And so back then it was called Creed, and I had the opportunity to compete. And at SLC, I placed first. So then I got to go on stage and I got to open up the entire middle school conference just with the Creed. And I think ever since then, I've just loved like the competitive event aspect of FBLA, and I stayed for the people.
That's really amazing, Deborah. I mean, it's really crazy how you've been involved in FBLA for so long. That's like longer than anybody I've ever known in FBLA as well. So, I mean, since you've been in FBLA for so long, you must know a lot about national programs, especially since you're also national officer last year. So, what national programs are you most excited for members to do this year?
Yeah, so we like launched Adopt a Chapter last year, and it was a pilot program. So if you guys are unfamiliar with Adopt a Chapter, it's pretty much a program that's designed to connect middle school chapters with high school chapters. Just because I remember when I was in middle school, I was a little bit scared about the transition from middle to high school FBLA. So I guess that's ensuring a good connection between the two, like, I guess, feeder schools. And then if like you don't already have a middle school chapter in your area, it can also really encourage that to develop or charter a new FBLA chapter in your middle school. And I guess I'm just really excited to develop that. We're speaking with the collegiate national officer team, and we're trying to see if we can actually bring it from high school to collegiate. And that would be really nice just because I know high school members are also really interested. And I guess learning about what the next step is and I guess how to take that step. So having like mentoring from the collegiate aspect of FBLA, I think really kind of like goes with our theme about one association and together we achieve.
Yeah, I really like that you're trying to move that Adopt a Chapter program up to the collegiate side of things. I think that's really cool. I know that we're all excited to see your guys' program of work and how you guys take it as Team 72 this year. We're super excited for that. So our second question is kind of in your time as a national officer, what is your kind of advice for not only state officers, but also chapter officers as well?
Yeah. So I say as a chapter officer, get involved at your local chapter as much as you possibly can. If you're not having a great FBLA experience, it's really because you're not putting your all into it. It's really like the more you put into FBLA, the more you're going to get out of it. So as a local chapter officer, try to like, I guess, make FBLA your priority. Meet with your chapter advisor, meet with your officer team, schedule a lot of fun activities. You don't just have to stick to one chapter meeting a month. You can do committee meetings every week. You can do chapter activities. You could do socials and just really have fun with it. It's not just about work. You want to have fun in an organization and in a community that you're a part of. And then for state officers, I would say be as open as possible to other people, especially members. When you go to a conference, you're not there, I guess, to walk on stage and just go through like the motions of, I guess, being like a stage figure. You're a person. You're there to talk to members, and it's about making that like members moment special. So don't think about yourself. Don't worry, like, I guess, about yourself. Worry about other people whenever you go to conferences.
Yeah, that's really amazing advice. And just building off of the last question, what is your advice to someone interested in running for national office?
Oh, wow. Okay. I'd say Get started early. Like you don't want to wait on your application. You don't want to figure out that you want to be like run as a national officer like a month before the applications are due because you have to get your state's approval as well. And some states they require approval at their SLC. So if your state does that, like you need to find out about that process like back in like December or something like that. And also just I guess as you're running, like ask yourself why you're running. If you're running just for like a college application or like a resume, I wouldn't say it's really worth it for that. But if you're there for the FBLA experience, and really expanding on the programming and making, I guess, different resources available for members, if that's your motive for running, then by all means, try your hardest.
Yeah, I feel like that's really important for people to understand when I think both running for national and state office, like those are really
Mhm.
key points for both of them. And I really think, I know for all of Washington members that are watching this, if you want to be a national officer coming next year, run for executive vice president. That is our startup for Washington to get to the national office. So, filtering to our next question, I believe all of us members know that coming up in November is NFLC, National Fall Leadership Conference in both Dallas and Rhode Island, I believe. So
Mhm.
we're really wanting to wonder, what are you most excited about for NFLC?
Ooh, okay. For NFLC, I'm going to Providence, and I'm just really excited to, I guess, meet all the different members. Usually we stay all in like this one hotel, so I'm just like looking forward to hanging out in the lobby and just meeting people, meeting up with my council. I remember last year in Denver, we all just stayed in the lobby the entire time, and we just hang out as like a one big like giant FBLA group. We go on boba runs. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and on just building off of that again, so just like a little advertisement for why members should attend NFLC.
Okay, you have to go to NFLC because it is going to be the best conference experience of your entire life. Like out of all of the conferences I've attended in the past 6 years, I will say that NFLC is like the most rewarding because you're really there to network with members. Everybody who's there wants to be there and they're excited to get to meet you and get to know you. And there's a lot of different like fun little activities that we have planned. There's also tracks, workshops. So come, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe my chapter will be attending NFLC. So we're really excited to go to Dallas and kind of have fun and experience that because that's something our
Mhm.
chapter's never done. I don't know about Joanna's union going to NFLC this year.
No, we're not able to.
Okay. So we were really excited. We're really excited that most of Washington will be attending NFLC this year. So we're really hopeful to see a lot of members there and kind of having a lot of fun. So our next question, we know that you're really big in competitive events. It's one of your favorite things. So what is your favorite competitive event and why?
Alrighty. So I guess I was really focused on competitive events like back in middle school, and there was this event that we did in eighth grade. It was called Critical Thinking. I guess that was my first, I guess, real like case study with an entire team, and it was just a lot of fun getting to work with a team. And once you really get to know the people on your team, it's just fun, like I guess presenting and kind of answering interview questions and building off of each other. I have this one specific memory. We were at SLC, and as soon as we walked out of that room, it's like, you know what that feeling that you get when you realize, oh, I just did that. Like, I can't believe I just did that. And we all like walked out and we're like, oh my gosh, we were like screaming. And everybody was obviously looking at us like, okay, what's wrong with them? But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can definitely relate. In my first competitive event, I did parliamentary procedure with the team, and that was so fun.
Hmm.
Like finish the parley example and then just walk down. We were like, we did that. So yeah, I totally agree. And for our last question, since DEI is something that we're trying to include in FBLA all throughout the nation, especially on the national level with a DEI committee that you guys have. Our question is, what does an equitable initiative for a state or chapter look like for you?
Yeah, so in terms of equity, I just say make sure there's enough resources available, especially financially, because some areas might not be able to afford certain conferences. So if you could start like projects or fundraisers to kind of gear, I guess, towards like a specific fund that goes towards specific areas. I know that at the national level, we obviously have the Dress to Impress scholarship. We also have the NLC scholarship. So members can apply for that if they're in need of like financial support. And that's a great way to ensure that everybody has an opportunity at least to be able to attend these conferences. And also just make sure that you're not just looking at the big schools. Make sure that we're reaching out to rural schools, make sure that they feel supported and that they know that they can reach out to you for anything.
Yeah, I totally agree. Definitely in Washington, we definitely focus on bigger schools mostly. So now we're more expanding to the smaller schools and making more initiatives for them. So thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to join us, Deborah. Washington, we can't wait to see you next time on LeaderLink.
Make sure to follow at WAFBLA on Instagram to stay connected on all of our segments. Thank you for watching.
Bye, everybody.